First of all, let's talk about Travis Wilson and the situation there. Get that addressed. Never bring notes, but I got some notes here to make sure I cover all the points and walk you through this. Suffered a concussion at ASU. It was on the play where the ball came loose down in the red zone. It was a QB run, and so didn't really have any symptoms after the game, directly after the game, or during the game. So that wasn't readily apparent that it was a concussion. It was the next day that a headache and some things started to surface. So anyway, that was the beginning of it. Through the concussion diagnosis process, a pre-existing problem was discovered, and so that proceeded to, they proceeded to give him an angiogram to take a closer look, and that confirmed that there was a pre-existing problem and something that needs to be addressed and continue to be monitored. Travis is done for the season. He's out. He's been declared that not able to play for the rest of the year. Could be career-ending. We'll find out. But it could very well be career-ending, and we won't know for certain for several months. Travis is a tough, competitive kid. Very upset by this, obviously, and disappointed, to say the least. And he was a big part of what we're doing on offense. Obviously, he's our starting quarterback, and we're going to miss him. But the most important thing is his long-term health, and that's all anyone right now is really concerned with, and that is the bottom line. And so the medical staff is proceeding to make sure that everything is done in the proper order and the proper way to make sure that that is the thing that we're addressing. Travis will not be available for comment or interview. It's no need for that, and this will be the last time we discuss it again until we have more definitive answers as to what's going on. And so that being said, any questions or things I didn't cover you may have want to ask?
You know how unusual it is to suffer a concussion, have no symptoms until the next day? Is that
quite not quite unusual, quite common. I mean, there's, in fact, most of our concussions aren't discovered until the next day or two in some cases. First of all, Oregon game, there were some positives that come out of it. And any time you win or lose, there's things you learn. But I thought our offensive line played better. I was proud of the way Adam Schultz came in a very difficult situation. First collegiate start against a top 10 team on the road, hostile environment. Thought he handled it well. Missed some throws, didn't play perfectly, and he understands that, but did a pretty good job. We came out, we went into halftime 17-7, came out, took the first drive, scored, and feeling pretty good about things. Then the kickoff return was the play of the game. I mentioned that at the press conference after the game, and never regained momentum after that. They took all the momentum with that play, and we never were able to get much going at all on either side of the ball after that. And so that was, defense, relative to what that team has been doing to everybody else, 600 yards and 50 points and this and that, I thought our defense hung in there and did some good things, but we don't measure ourselves against everybody else defensively. We have certain standards here, and by our standards, we didn't play very good defense. So it was disappointing. Special teams, maybe the biggest disappointment. We haven't lost a special teams battle. I can't remember when the last time we got handled on special teams like we did in that game, and that was another big part of the reason why we came out on the short end. Washington State, looking ahead, Mike Leach has done a nice job with that program. They've improved. They're 5-5 right now. Got a nice win at Arizona over the weekend. Connor Halliday, a very good quarterback, throwing the ball a ton. We expect anywhere from 50 to 80 throws. That's just what they do, and that's who they are, and do a good job with it. And they're playing good defense. Beat SC in the Coliseum early in the year, and so they are a much improved team. And we got our work cut out for us, as we do every week, as looking at the schedule. And the last 6 weeks, 5 of those teams are top 25 teams. I'm just sitting here thinking, every week is just a complete challenge. And 5 of 6 have been in the top 25, like I said. But I guess that's neither here nor there, other than it's been a tough stretch for us.
What can you guys do as an offensive staff to help Adam out more? It seemed like there were an exorbitant number of drops. and plays that maybe could have been made that he maybe put your team in position to make.
Good point. And Adam's numbers were not indicative of how he played because there were 5 or 6 drops, balls that should have been caught, and which would have improved his numbers greatly. But what we can do, number one, is establish a strong run game. And we didn't run the football very effectively against Oregon. We had over 100 yards, but I think it was like 2.8 a carry, which is nowhere near efficient enough. And that's the best way to protect a quarterback and to assist a quarterback is a strong running game, and didn't get that done. The pass protection was pretty good. You know, when you look at what it was a week prior and 2 weeks prior as well, the pass pro was much improved, and it was good to see Adam get back there and have some time to throw the ball. But now we have time to throw the ball and we don't catch it. And so if it's not one thing, it's another.
You talked a little bit about the offensive line. I just wanted to get specifics. When was the decision made on Asiata? And will we see Asiata starting again next week against Washington?
The decision was made by Thursday. Typically, if you can't practice by Thursday, we don't play you, or at least only in an emergency role. And with Siosi Iono unavailable on Thursday's practice and still limping around, the decision was made at that time to put Isaac in the lineup. I thought Isaac responded very well. He played solid football, and you will see him the rest of the way, either whether it's a starter or in a rotation capacity, but he's going to continue to play, and hopefully we get Siosi back this week. You know, he's still a little bit hobbled, but we'll find out more tomorrow where he stands.